You want to know how to be an MC? This is what you do.
Like, my truth is my truth, bro.
From New York to the world.
And, you know,
From New York to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
I look, Ebro in the Morning, man. We tracked him down fresh out of COVID compound last night, the COVID compound after party. We found Young Jeezy got the new album Recession 2 out. We're going to dig into many of the things that happened at the VERZUZ last night, as well as things that have been said on this album. Jeezy, first things first. I just want to say, Big Snow, salute.
my guy.
What y'all did for hip-hop last night, and what y'all did for y'all city. What y'all did in showing these young dudes, you know, how to pull things back together for the bigger, better business and the bigger betterment of our culture of hip hop was phenomenal. I appreciate it.
Man, you know, it was you know, we can get into it. Like it was just one of those things, man. Just like, you know, at the moment, I mean, you know, you just got to go with how you feel. You know what I mean? And it's just been so long, and there's been so many people in the middle, and it's been so many opinions, and it's just like, yo, bro, what we gonna do? Because I'm quite frankly, like, we grown. We was kids. You know, we was kids. We was kids, and we was coming into money and power. And you know how that go. That's a deadly mix when, you know, that's a real mix when you don't have any leadership. So my first mind was like, damn, bro, like, we was already, like, you know how many things we left on the table culturally because of that. And, like, you know, and seeing what happened to Von, King Von, I don't know, it was just like a bad week. What happened to King Von and then Mo 3 and Boosie getting shot. And like we love, but you got to protect Boosie at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Like, Boosie he's one of us for real. Like, if anything, I've been to Baton Rouge. Them people love Boosie. Like, he's their Barack Obama. And, you know, just what happened to Pops. I mean, I can name names going, even people who losing their homies.
Well, you said you made it a point last night after Gucci Mane played Truth, which is a street diss record where he talks about digging up your man. I mean, it's one of the records that everybody's like, yo, levels of disrespect are unfathomable. But it's on record and it's been out.
Wow.
He performs it and then continues after the record goes off to kind of antagonize and talk shit in a moment. Did you know that was going to happen? What had you guys discussed prior to us seeing what we saw last night? And then talk about when you grabbed the microphone and said what you said.
I mean, all I can say about that is, like, when we got there, I didn't feel like it was no, you know, I didn't feel that in the air, so I didn't think he would, you know. To be honest with you, if I'm honest, Ebro, like, you my guy, like, I speak on, you know, what I know, but I don't want to assume anything. You feel what I'm saying? So, as far as about what I said, it's one of them things when you in the moment, you like, you know, and I really been practicing that a lot lately, like, to stop putting myself first. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like I'm watching things happen in real time, and I know my influence, and I know his, you know. And I kind of feel like a lot of the things that are happening is because people are trying to live out what they thought happened with us. If this go down, I'm supposed to do this, that. And it was just like that. It was a clash, and it was a moment of clarity, and it was just like, yo, either we're going to take this shit back 20 more years, or we're gonna have to figure this out in front of the world. You and I, though. You know, and it was just like what I said was really from my heart, and it was really for.
So you had no idea that you knew he was going to play the song, because clearly we hear him say, "Man, I told you I was going to play the like." Yeah, so you knew he was going to play the song.
What I'm saying is there was no rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell a grown man, like, you know, I can't go in there and be like, you can't play your song. But I'm like, I hope he don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like.
And you certainly don't know what he's going to say after the song and sort of the energy there.
Right. And look, man, like, let's be honest. Like, let's be honest as we talking now. I've been a lot of things, man. I've done a lot of time. I've been, you know, imagine what I've been through and where I'm at in my life. You know, I love and respect who I am as a man and how I've evolved. But I'm not about to let a situation take me back 20 years because somebody's antagonizing me. I'm not doing that. That's crazy. You got a family and kids at home, bro. You're not about to go outside and argue with somebody and lose everything you work for just because somebody's saying what they're saying in front of people. I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I know my worth. I know what I am and what I represent as a man, and all the things that I'll be doing. I'll be a hypocrite right now to go back 20 years because that happened at that moment.
So while all of us were kind of nervous at home in that moment and kind of holding our breath, you were prepared for that. You weren't even you were not nervous.
I ain't gonna front because when I got, I'm gonna keep it a buck. When I got there, it was like it might not happen. Like you might not do it. I was like, oh, well, that's even better. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't even that because it's gonna take a lot to disrespect me to make me feel like I'm about to lose everything to prove a point to some people who don't give a care about me anyway. Because it's not their business. It's our business. It's me and his. You know what I'm saying? If you and Paul fall out tomorrow, I can have an opinion, but that's not my business. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like we grown men, dog. Like we both rich. Like we both good. It's just like either we gonna be, going back and forth with this, and we gonna be in the penitentiary, or we gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's wars that happen. So wars that happen with countries and millions of people. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's right.
It happens. So it's like you want your people to keep clashing and losing. You know what I mean? It's like it's just like it's got to be some form of leadership. And what came over my body is take the music shit out, take your ego out of the situation. Who are you? I'm a natural born leader. Let me take control of this situation before it gets out of hand and we go back 20 whole years to prove a point because it's always been egos.
So let me ask you something because this is key because you're talking about learning and evolving. What happened to Gucci Mane that resulted in your comrade's death? Okay,
right.
We don't know. We've only heard street rumors of how that incident happened. We don't know.
That's the thing. And that's why I get it. People want to know, but like I say, that's our business, bro. Like
so that's why I want to ask. Gucci Mane clearly looked relieved when y'all got to So Icy. Like he genuinely looked like okay. Because remember, from what we understand of the situation, Gucci Mane was under attack. So all these years he's lived with this pent up pain. Y'all, that So Icy record was a moment, bro, that he never got to really get off. You know what I'm saying? So for 15 years, Gucci Mane is sitting on this anger. He goes to jail. He's, he went through a whole lot. So how much of your understanding as a grown-up understood how important this was also to him closing a chapter of the past?
Let me say this. Shout out to Larry. Shout out to everybody up there at Apple. Shout out to Pete from QC. Shout out to Solo. Everybody who was, Swiss Beats and all those guys. Shout out to Magic for Magic City for putting it together. Shout out to everybody who's a part of it. But when I walked in there and I seen those two thrones, I knew then. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what King said. And when it got to that point, my first mind was how I felt. Am I truly disrespected? Is this the 6th grade? Is somebody gonna talk about my mom and I'm gonna lose my shit? Or I'm gonna be me? And then for a second, you're right. I put myself in his shoes for a quick second. And I'm like, man, I don't know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for me to judge, but I know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like I know who I am as a man, and the natural born leader in me says, obviously the communication ain't there, so he don't know that I've came to peace with myself. So now I gotta be that leader and say, bro, I feel you. Not even like I feel it, because if you came and we got this big moment and that's how you feel, then clearly we're not on the same page. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if you invite somebody and you guys sit down and have a conversation, and the first thing they bring up is what happened, and we're not gonna talk about it like it's nothing. But what happened is like they're not over that. whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm
and
like,
so you
wow.
recognize that he needed to get that off.
Right.
He needed to. He
Right.
needed
Not
to.
even just get it off. I mean, I recognize that's how he felt.
Right.
And I'm like, damn. You know, it's almost like, let's turn the cameras off, dog. I'm not doing this for show. Like, we should go back here and figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause they ain't got nothing to do with what we've been through. Like, this us. We are the coaches. It's like, let's figure it out. And for a short second idea, I put myself in his shoes. I'm like, damn, well, okay.
He been through some shit.
There you go. And I mean, and the same thing, like, you know, mentally, like we everybody's growing in their mental space, but trauma is real. Like, and I'm not saying what trauma would happen, but I don't know what happened with him in his life. Like, he might got some things going on.
That's right.
Because I did, you know, which is why I get into some of the music I put out, because I had things in my life that was weighing me down.
How close were y'all in 2005 as artists? Like, was it a real friendship, or was that just a record? And when y'all recorded songs?
No. Like, he used to sit outside of my sessions, man. Like, he used to sit outside of my sessions. Like, Icy got put together so crazy. He was sitting outside my set. I mean, we was kind of cool back and forth. But I ain't, you know, Icy got put together in one of my sessions. I was recording. He brought the beat up there, and it was on my time, my session. I called Lil Will, which was one of my homies that sing the hook. And me and Boo and Gotti from Boo and Gotti was hanging out at the time. And I was like, yo, Boo, come to the studio. And we did it. And it was a hit. Like, I'm being all the way honest. It was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, from that point, the record took off. So, you know, we kind of was trying to keep, like I say, when money and fame get involved when you're so young and you don't got the playbook, and that's why I felt like I had to do what I had to do, because this generation ain't got the playbook, bro. Like, y'all can ask about this shit all day. The problem is, the question is, what did they take away from it?
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, what did they take away from it? Because there's no playbook for this.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So for even me and him, you know, it almost feels like either side, just get the takeaway, bro. Like, don't worry about the details. Like, get the takeaway. And for me, it was just like, you know, it was like, what's gonna come out of this? What's the end goal? You know what I'm saying? Should
we interpret this, because he acknowledged you for extending the olive branch, and he thanked you at the end?
This is somebody I met on some street shit. For him to say that to me, was olive branch. I know exactly what. Everybody ain't gonna get that, bro. Everybody don't know what that symbolizes. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So that to me was already like clear. Like, wow, this is where we at now. So you realize that I'm extending an invitation to, like, okay, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because that clearly says for people, and you're making a point right now to make sure the audience interprets this moment in history the right way.
Correct.
For you two individuals and where y'all come from in public, for somebody to say, I appreciate you extending the olive branch.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. That is a way of acknowledging an apology in many ways. That's a bygones are bygones. You know what I mean? That's a big moment without the official, you know, like we don't have to be friends. We don't have to be, we ain't doing Thanksgiving dinner together.
But we have an understanding.
That's right.
Right. Well, and listen, all I could think about is, like, think about how different history would be if Biggie and Pac had been able to do that.
You took the words right out of my mouth, but the fact that we was able to, and we was given given a platform, and given the timing with everything that's going on in the world. Everything that's going on in the world, from racism to the pandemic to, you know, a crazy president who doesn't want to lead. Like, all these things going on, and our culture has nothing to look forward to. And this happens. You see what I'm saying, Ebro?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Look, salute for that. And I hope to speak to Gucci, man. Was there any?
No question.
Was there any dialogue? Did you guys get to, you know, dap it up? You know, speak again after what we saw?
To be honest with you, you know, it's fresh, man. It's like anything. You know what I'm saying? We just, you know, I'm hoping, you know, he at peace. I'm at peace. And now we just start, you know, having the dialogue of, you know, how things work out from here. Not even as far as the industry is concerned, but just as far as men. Like I woke up this morning to see how I felt. I
How do you feel?
Yeah, how do you feel?
I've been doing interviews all morning, so I don't know. I might call you back like, yo, so listen. No, I mean, I'm being honest, bro. Like, it's probably, and God is good, man. I don't mean just for that. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I just feel like, it was a lot of things on me, and my whole thing being in my mental was just to clean a lot of the bad energy out of my life, like just to get it out of the way, because it's been there since I can remember, like since I was a young teenager, and the traumas and everything that I've been through, and it's just so much. And I've been cleaning house, and that was a big closet that was been junky forever, and it's just like I never even wanted to walk into it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I opened the door and it was clean. I mean,
that's such a great way of putting it. So you went out and you cleaned out. You had this mess in your head that's always in the corner of your brain, and now you got to open the door and throw it out.
Well, you have a record on the album. Speaking of that, "Therapy for My Soul," and the song opens up where you said, "Yeah, therapy for my soul. It's time to heal."
Right.
Been listening to my thoughts, and lately I've been concerned. I feel like my soul on fire. Let that motherfucker burn.
Right.
In the song, you speak on Freddie Gibbs, and you speak on your relationship with Coach K and how that happened. Just kind of tidying up for those of us that have followed your career and what the internet said. You had some words from 50 Cent in this song. Freddie Gibbs is out here saying some things about you and continuing to kind of, throw some grenades at you. Do you even pay attention to these things at this point in the state that you're in?
Nah, bro. I got too many things to do, and when I go see if I go see my therapist, I'm not gonna care to hear what he says after my session. You know what I'm saying? And basically, the world was my therapist.
Right.
And I went in and I said what I said. I wrote down what I wrote down, and that's to get it out of my head in that closet. And I was done with it. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about nothing. And for me, that's my opinion. That's what's in my heart. Ain't nobody gonna tell me different. You know what I mean? And I felt like I said enough in the song to not have to talk about it after. So for me, I ain't got nothing else to say. Straight up.
And you made sure to mention your love for Big Meech in here,
Sure.
and that relationship. And you said, and people make of your relationship with Meech and the 50 Cent working on the BMF movement. Is that why you mentioned 50 Cent in the song? Is there something that happened?
It's if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it, bro. I mean, for me, like, to be honest with you, I never speak on anything. You know what I mean? I sit back and I watch everything, and I be like, I don't keep it so real, bro.
Yeah.
I had to just say, man, bro, you're not keeping it real with yourself, dog. That can't be the narrative, man. You can't. If something happened to me today, my daughter and my kids couldn't sit there and be like, this is what type of person my daddy was. I can't live with that narrative, dog. I stay in my lane. I do my thing. I embrace people. I empower people. I bring value to people. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I ain't G. Like, I can go there. Like, that's easy. But I'm doing what's hard. You know what I'm saying? What they say, if you do and life was easy, life would be hard. If you do and life was hard, life would be easy. And that's what I'm on, bro. I'm doing what's hard. And I had to come to grips, like, like, my truth is my truth, bro. It's two sides to every story. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I never said nothing for so many years, and it just got so compounded. It's like, damn, like, hold it, like, y'all can't build, that can't be my character. You know what I'm saying? I never did anything with malice. Never. You know me, bro. I ain't never had a conversation with you and talk bad about no other man. I don't even do that.
I want to ask you about something that made me feel really good a few weeks ago. Can you tell us about my favorite picture of the last month or two was you in conversation with Joe Biden. Can you tell us about your conversations with Joe Biden and then how you and your family took in the election as well?
The conversation with Joe Biden was, I was on him. I was asking him questions because I wanted to see if he really understood his position. He was honest. But I did, you know, I kind of really appreciate the fact that Kamala Harris is, you know, almost like his work wife, because I feel like she's close enough to the culture to actually understand. And the thing about it is everybody like, how can you support them, the drug laws and this and that and what they did to people? And I'm just like, yo, man, yeah, I'm not saying it's the end all be all. I never said that. I'm more, and I'm gonna ask you a question now, Paul. I'm more.
You mean Peter? You getting confused? See, you worked at Def Jam too long. That's what happened. Too many Rosenbergs.
Yeah, but I'm more happy to see my culture see that every little bit counted, and that we made a difference together. Like we got out here and got people to vote, and Georgia changed to blue. That was a big thing because now with anything you start to have confidence, and when you have confidence and you mobilize, the movement begins to get bigger, and you become effective, and you have you have a whole like network of people that move as one. And I was just happy to see because it was so many people. I was like, yo, we got to vote. We got to vote. It's like my vote don't count. Why would I waste my time? And just to see that, you know, it made me feel good. And then back to the Joe Biden thing, I was really just asking real questions. And I wanted my people to know, like, sometimes you really just got to be at the table. You know what I mean? Like just let's just say he was in office and I never had a conversation with him to feel him out. You know, I would feel a way about that because I don't know who he is. But if me, Jeezy, I go and say, okay, look, he better than what's going on, so let's just figure that part out, and then we can move on from there.
Get to the next step.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, don't. At least if you got somebody at the table, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you said it well. It's not that Joe's the be all end all. It's that it opens the door to possibility.
Correct.
Whereas we had no possibilities before. Right. We had an enemy in the White House.
Well, and it's crazy because I told somebody else that the other day, I was just like, think about it. When he was moving away, it really showed how strong we were. When Trump was moving away, he was moving, he was mobilizing his troops, and they was in the dark. We was all like, oh man, we just thought we was gonna see a bunch of militia with machine guns and all this because he was building, it's a cult following. It's like, we don't even know, it's about to be a war. And once he lost, they had to come to the light. And what we saw was, if you looked at those supporters and that, you know, that's them, that's how they feel. When you see them out there with those signs and you see them out there with those banners and stuff, they're regular people. And they're not even that strong. They're not as strong as us when we mobilize. When we got a problem, we march. We out there in tens and 20s of thousands. You know what I'm saying? We march for months and weeks and
years, generations.
Right, generations. You see that. So what he did was he basically put it on display. So they're strong in the dark, but they're not strong in the light. And to me, that was like, wow, like, because I rode past a couple of those, and I'm like, man, those are regular people. They're not even militant like that. You know what I'm saying? So he was basically dividing our nation. And to me, that's where the problem lies. You know, you can't divide people. And I say that even with last night. I don't want to divide us. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not strong if we're dividing each other. You know what I'm saying? Because we all here. So that's what I didn't like about his administration. And that's another thing that went through, you know, my mind last night is like, you want to divide us again? You want to make the split that much bigger? Because now it's more people tune in.
Right. You know? The lights are brighter. Right. On your album, you open it up with a little segment featuring our girl Tamika.
Wait. Do you like the album, by the way? Let me have that conversation.
I haven't even got through the whole thing yet. So I ain't even going to front. I ain't even listen because
I'll just make sure.
I'm about to take my daughter to drop her off and play in the schoolyard with her friends. Right. And while she's doing that, I'm going to be listening to the album.
So give me up.
Oh, you know I am. You know I am. But it opens with Tamika Mallory. And there's something I want to close this conversation today. It's very important for me because you brought up the 90s crime bill and Joe Biden. And it's not very often that we get an opportunity to speak to somebody who has navigated selling crack in the 90s and 2000s to becoming a business owner, an executive, and politically active, and making music. I think you're an anomaly in that regard.
Right.
In your video you dropped last night with Rick Ross, Almighty Black Dollar.
Yeah.
You talk about the power of the black money, but you also there's a video that has the imagery of Frank Lucas, I believe it is, an American Gangster.
Right.
The black men that you were raised around, I think I'm a little bit older than you, but we're a part of the same generation. I can speak for my dad. They was in the street and they wanted that fast money. And a lot of it ended with a dead end. And my father once told me he never planned to be 60, 65. Like, that wasn't even a part of his mind. Like, it wasn't even like, I'm here right now and I'm not prepared.
Lucky.
Right? And a lot of black men didn't even get to live that long. And now, and the reason I bring that up is because what happened last night is you showing young people a path to plan for a longer life, to heal not only family and friends, but heal themselves. You brought up real estate last night and owning half of Atlanta. That's building legacy. You're talking to presidents. And I'm putting all this together because I want you to speak on, the reason you had to take it to the streets when you was young, and that was the option, the only option that you felt you had. Because a lot of people forget in the crime bill, things had gotten so bad in many black neighborhoods with joblessness, you know what I'm saying? Lack of opportunity, the devaluing of black wealth and black property, which came because of the Reagan administration. And before that became a Nixon, and really people had thrown their hands in the air when that crime bill was written. And it was a lack of sophistication. They just started locking up drug dealers and gang members. And it was terrible. And it was short-sighted, but it was a last-ditch cleanup. I just want you to talk through where you started and why you made the choices you made, and what you want to say to people now as they navigate forward, and how, like you said, you wanted to leave a legacy and a blueprint for people to navigate forward, how they should be prioritizing. Because I think that's really your motivation when you put out these albums now. It's always about you telling a story and leaving a blueprint for people.
Right. Well, let me start from backwards and move it. Let me start from forward and move it backwards. Backwards and move forward. First thing is,